These AI tools, sometimes they just feel, well, magical, like pulling answers out of a hat.
Uh-huh. Totally get that. But like even magic tricks have a method, right?
True. Like, making a really great cup of coffee. It's not just hot water and beans appearing. There's more going on.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're digging into today, the actual process, the recipe behind how these AI tools learn,
Hmm.
our mission, if you will.
Right, the training. And we're using those bits from Brewed for Brilliance, how today's AI tools actually work.
Yeah, that's the source. He uses that whole coffee thing to make it, well, easier to grasp.
Yeah.
We want to unpack what really makes these AI outputs good or, not so good.
Brewed for Brilliance. I like it. Okay, so give us the big picture. What's the core idea from that source?
Well, it really leans into that coffee comparison. Think about it. If you use like old stale beans or maybe your coffee grinder is just busted,
You get terrible coffee. Bitter, undrinkable.
precisely. And the source says AI is just like that. If you feed it junk data or if the way you train it is flawed.
Garbage in, garbage out. I've heard that one.
That's the essence of it, yeah. Poor ingredients or a bad process means a flawed result, whether it's coffee or AI.
Okay. Makes sense. So let's brew this AI coffee then. What are the key steps the source lays out?
It breaks it down really simply into three main parts: data, then training, and finally, output.
Data,
Yeah.
training, output. Got it. Let's start with the first one, data. What are the good beans in AI
It
terms?
really comes down to the quality, the reliability, the accuracy of the information you give the AI to learn from.
So like the raw ingredients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The source really hammers this home. Bad data, just like bad coffee beans, leads straight to AI making mistakes, showing bias, or just giving you unreliable answers.
Right. It's like trying to learn history from a book full of errors. You wouldn't trust what you learn.
You got it. That initial data quality is absolutely fundamental.
Okay, so let's say we've got top-notch data, the best beans. What's next? That's the training part.
Yep, training. And this is crucial too. The source points out that even with perfect data, if your method of training is bad, think of it as having a really terrible barista or, like I said, that broken grinder.
Okay, so you can ruin good beans.
Definitely. If the algorithms, the steps the AI takes to learn from the data are flawed or maybe biased themselves, the end result, the AI model, it can still end up inaccurate or, just not helpful at all.
So it's not just the what's the data, but also the how, the training process itself,
Exactly. Both have to be right. Which brings us naturally to the last stage.
the output, the finished cup of coffee, so to speak, or, well, the AI's actual response.
That's it. The quality here, whether it's text from something like ChatGPT or maybe an image from, say, Canva's Dreamlab,
Oh, yeah, or those AI videos like Synthesia avatars.
right, all those different outputs.
Yeah.
Their quality is a direct reflection of the data they were fed and how well they were trained on it. Text models need text data. Image models need images. Video models need video recordings.
And the source document apparently has a little diagram showing this flow. Data flows into training, which creates the output from the AI tool.
Yeah, a simple visual data training output.
Yeah.
It just reinforces that step-by-step connection. It's not a black box, really.
It does make it feel less like magic and more like a process, a system you can understand.
That's the goal, I think,
Yeah.
to see that there are principles at work and quality control points, just like in making anything else.
Okay, so let's wrap this up for you, the listener. The main thing to take away is pretty clear, isn't it?
I think so. Basically, these AI tools we use, however amazing they seem, they stand or fall on the quality of their foundation.
Good beans, high quality data, and a proper brew effective, well-designed training methods. Without both, the output just won't be reliable.
Couldn't say it better. Good data, good training leads to potentially good output. Bad data or bad training. Well.
So here's something for you to chew on then. Knowing this, knowing it's about the data and the training.
Yeah, what questions should you maybe start asking? When you use an AI tool, beyond just looking at the output, maybe pause and think, what kind of data might this have been trained on? How is it trained?
Right. Thinking critically about that foundation, not just the flashy interface, what's really under the hood, that's something to keep in mind.